Okay, this is the meeting of the Fall River Planning Board. It's Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. It's 5:30 p.m. And pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any media. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. The City Charter, Section 9-18, mandates that all multiple member bodies develop and adopt rules or policy for public comment. We have adopted such a policy, which in short provides for citizen input on planning board specific matters at the end of the meeting. There's a sign-up sheet at the back of the room. And present today, we have Elizabeth Andre.
Present.
Mario Luciola.
Here.
John Ferrera.
Here.
Gloria Pacheco.
Here.
I'm Cynthia Savigny. We also have Dan Aguirre, the city planner, and Nina Kruger, the recording clerk. And from Fall River Government TV, we have Craig Salvador. Okay, item number 1. We have old business. And we have the roadway reconstruction of Wood Street. Section 66-185 City Ordinance. And it's considering the roadway construction plan and profile of the Wood Street exit.
Madam Chair and board members, if you remember at the last meeting, we had received a revised plan at the hour before the meeting.
Right.
So we have reviewed that plan, both my office as well as the Department of Community Utilities, and have sent back a comment letter requesting some additional changes to be made. So I would recommend that the matter be tabled until those new revised plans are submitted and reviewed.
Make a motion that we table the roadway construction, Wood Street reconstruction.
We have a second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And old business item number 2 is a receipt of a correspondence. We're going to review and discuss the nomination and acceptance of S. Goss and Sons Block for the National Register of Historic Places by the Massachusetts Historical Commission.
So if you remember at the last meeting, we had just really the cover sheet of what this notification was. So Chris Pirano, working in the planning department, was able to dig through and get a more lengthy, full submission of what the petition was. And yes, as anticipated, this was for the Ben Nathan Building at the corner of Troy and Pleasant Street. And since our last meeting, actually, I think just today, we did receive the letter that the site actually was accepted and placed on in the historic register. So just a matter of
That's good.
placing it on file.
On file. Okay, do we have a motion to place this item on file?
I'll motion to place it.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the third old business is receipt of correspondence, and we're going to review and discuss the nomination of 3rd Street Commercial Corridor Historic District for the National Register of Historic Places by the Massachusetts Historical Commission.
So similarly as the previous one, after the last meeting, Chris Pirano was able to do some additional research and put together the full package of what was submitted, and it actually covers the location of 18 to 48 3rd Street, which would be the Garment Workers Building, as well as the building north of it. So that's going through the process as well of going through the National Register of Historic Places. It has not been completed yet. So there will be the full package on file if anybody wants to come and take a look at it. There's actually some very interesting older photographs and everything else. I don't know if they were full ones in your package, but they will be on file at the planning office if you don't have them in your package.
Okay, and do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the correspondence put on file.
Yes. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we're on to new business.
Madam Chair, before you move on,
Yes.
in correlation with items 02 and 03, we do have a letter from the Preservation Society of Fall River that you would probably like to read into the record.
No.
This one?
I will. From the Preservation Society of Fall River, the letter is dated January 11th, 2023. Members of the Planning Board. The Preservation Society of Fall River wholeheartedly supports adopting new historic districts and recognizing significant properties in Fall River. New nominations within the city to the National Register of Historic Places are key to the city's future because they promote the value of Fall River as a historic community. And Fall River is indeed a historic community. Across the county, cities and towns are promoting historic preservation as a catalyst for urban redevelopment, kickstarting their local economies by promoting heritage tourism and increased skilled labor demand. Despite decades of property neglect, demolition, and reckless altercations, a great deal of Fall River's historic architecture still exists in its ripe for sensitive restoration. Recognizing these local landmarks and neighborhoods is a first step in preserving Fall River's unique culture and history for residents, tourists, and future generations to come. And signed sincerely, the Preservation Society of Fall River, Incorporated, the Board of Directors. Any comments? Motion to receive and place this on file?
I'll make a motion to place on file.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anything else before we move on?
Nope.
No? Okay. So we'll go with new business, which is Form A. Application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval. That's file number 22-1545. The owner applicant is Daniel Quintel Sr. and Daniel Quintel Jr., and the property location is 1311 and 1313 South Main Street, Assessors Map G-24-0003.
So, board members, if I could, this petition was before the Zoning Board of Appeals and received zoning relief. That note is on the plan over in the title block section. So the A&R plan has been submitted in accordance with the provisions of that zoning variance. Right now, there is a singular building on the lot that they're going to be separating the building and removing a portion of it, and a new lot line running down the gap in between the two. So the notes, appropriate notes are on the plan that the area is to be removed in between the two buildings. So the plan is afforded an endorsement as an A&R with those provisions.
And do I have a motion?
A motion we accept the plan as approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2, Form A. Application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval of file numbers 23-1546. Owner applicant Gerard Santos and Lisa Glory Santos. The property location is 371 Sherman Street, and the assessors map is L-17-0095.
Similarly to the last item, the owner and applicant received zoning relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals. This plan follows through with the A&R portion of that. So the lots do not have the requisite area and frontage. However, the fact that that zoning relief that was granted and is referenced on this plan affords an A&R endorsement.
Any questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the A and Rs presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And item number 3. Again, an application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval, and it's file number 23-1547. The owner applicant is Mount Hope Condominium Trust. The property location is 919 Bay Street, and the assessors map number H-18-0011.
Again, as the previous two, the owner applicant, Mount Hope Condominium Trust, received zoning relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals. That note is referenced on the plan, and this is an A&R plan cutting out 3 single-family lots in accordance with the variance. And this plan is afforded endorsement.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to endorse.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4, another application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval is file number 23-1548. Owner applicant is Walter Cabral. Property location is 17 Colfax Street. Assessors map M-07-0017.
Again, the applicant and owner, Walter Cabral, who is the resider of the two-family dwelling and the commercial business that operates from that corner, went before the Zoning Board of Appeals and was granted relief in order to subdivide this parcel the way it is being proposed to you now. The variance recording information is on the plan. The plan is afforded an endorsement of an A&R. So as, you know, as you look at all of these, and I've tried to explain this in the past, but we'll go through it again in case anybody doesn't understand it from the audience or on TV. When the plan gets to you at this point, you may not agree with how the land is being subdivided with setbacks and areas and frontages. However, the fact that the relief was granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals, you are just basically signing that this plan was prepared in accordance with their decision, and for the purpose of technically subdividing it, that's why it has to come through you. So although you may look at some of these and not agree with how it's being done, it's really just a formality to come through this process and get your signature for them.
Any comment? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the plan as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have item number 5. Again, an application for endorsement of plan believed not to require approval. File number 23-1549. Owner applicant is Jeffrey Maderas. Property locations 132 and 138 to 140 Fenner Street. Assessors map G-15-0017.
So a little bit different than the previous A&Rs that are before you. This is an A&R that falls under section 81L, which all the appropriate notes, if you look on the right-hand side, there are lengthy notes regarding this. Section 81L of Chapter 41 of the Massachusetts General Law allows the division of land where you have 2 existing structures that were in place prior to 1954, which is when subdivision control law came into effect in the city of Fall River. This is a little bit of an odd situation, so I'll talk you through it. There is an existing multifamily dwelling that is located right along Fenner Street. Behind it, another multifamily dwelling, number 132, and then a garage behind that. So the fact that these 2 buildings were constructed in the early 1900s or even prior to that, it is afforded an A&R endorsement. On this plan, there were a couple of items that I would have liked to have had revised. However, you have the ability to endorse it as is. You're only looking at the sections of 81L that provide for your endorsement. Questions that I had were with regards to The surveyor is defining an easement, if you look in the top left-hand corner of the plan, defining an easement with bearings and distances, where if you read through the deed language, this easement has not been defined. So I think they are presenting something that is in conflict with what the deed language states. If the deed language stated there was an easement of a certain width, depth, with dimensions, then you could show that. So down the road, I think there's going to be some type of a title issue or question when people start figuring out who has rights to and crossing over. However, that is not before you. But I did want to at least let the owner know that somewhere down the road, a title attorney, a neighbor, somewhere, someone is going to question that. And then also the addition of creating what appears to be a new easement on lot number 1 for the benefit of lot number 2. All of the dimensions and bearings for that easement and the area of such haven't been provided as well. But again, that's not for your consideration. This is strictly an A and R under section 8111 of the 2 structures in existence prior to 1954. And as you know, if you decide not to endorse any of these A and Rs, after 21 days, the owner applicant can go to the clerk's office and just get a certificate of the 21 days being lapsed with no action taken, which basically does exactly what you would be doing now, just not belaboring it the 21 days. So the result is going to be the same, whether you sign it now or don't sign it.
Any comment?
I need to recuse myself from this item.
Did this go before zoning?
No, doesn't have to. What happens is,
Because of the-
so just so you get an understanding, we have a provision that allows you to get a special permit to subdivide a lot where 2 homes have been, you see a lot of those.
Yeah.
Prior to 1954. And the reason you go through that process is because you're preserving a zoning determination. So right now, no zoning determination has been made to these. And that carries a little bit of a different weight moving forward on title. So the appropriate method is to go through the special permit process that we afford people, but by no means are they required to do that. So what this has done is, when we go through the special permit process, the zoning board of appeals normally puts conditions on the property, like separating the utilities is one of them. That's a big thing here. For instance, these 2 buildings, the sewer line and the water line from the back house run through the front house. Now, there are notes on here regarding the ability to repair all those things, but when the properties get sold, not
Who
always an
pays for
easy
that?
thing to do, when you want to go in your neighbor's house in front of you and you tell them, you have a clog, I'm coming in to fix it.
Yeah.
So legally is one thing, and this meets all of the requirements. Logistically, down the road, this creates headaches. But by all means, it is afforded an A&R endorsement.
Okay. Board members, do I have a vote? All right, and a second?
Who made the motion?
Second?
Who made the motion? Oh,
Beth did.
I will second it.
Okay. In favor?
Yes?
Yes?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Is that unanimous?
Well,
No.
she abstained.
No, I know, yeah, but there's still 4 members left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 of
You
us
4,
did
okay.
vote,
Yep.
yes, and 1 has abstained. No problem. Okay. And we are all done with applications. We have Greening the Gateway Cities, implementing a grant. It's request to review and improve the tree division planting plan for 2023, Greening the Gateway Cities implementation grant application. Hi.
Good evening. Among a few of my roles is tree warden. I'm Chris Perino. I'm the city tree warden. We have the ability to apply for a Greening the Gateway implementation grant open to the 26 gateway cities in Massachusetts. It allows us to apply for funding of up to $100,000 to do tree planting, allows us to purchase the trees, purchase equipment, and do community outreach. We're currently funded at $99,125 for this fiscal year to do some tree planting. I was before this board probably this time last year to seek your approval for that. For the FY24 grant funding round, the tree division is proposing 3 different planting locations: Kennedy Park, Lafayette Park, and North Burial Ground. So the funding is targeting areas that are both environmental justice neighborhoods and urban heat island, neighborhoods affected by urban heat island. The 3 of these locations, the 2 parks and the cemetery, are in environmental justice neighborhoods, as is much of the city. So it fits in line with both the tree division's planting, overall planting plan, as well as the Commonwealth's desire to plant in those locations.
And Chris and I have talked about this at length. The department as a whole wholly support, all of the endeavors from the tree warden and what he does in the city. So my opinion is that it's well worth the
Great.
effort.
Board members, any comment?
I think you're doing a good job.
Good job. Hey, you want to hear that comment?
Sometimes it's more important taking down the bad trees than it is putting in the new ones, so they spend a lot of time
Great.
doing that as
They
well.
do that as
so.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, and do I have a second?
Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good job, Chris.
Beth, who got the
Yes.
second?
Second,
I did.
Beth.
Yes, it was
She beat me to it.
Beat you. Okay, and item number 7. We have a correspondence. We're going to review and discuss notification of activity and use limitation submitted to the Mass Department of Environmental Protection by Riverhawk Environment for the property located at 288 Plymouth Avenue. Okay.
So, board members, you may be familiar with the property. You'll see in the package that you have, it is located at the very bottom of Plymouth Avenue on the eastbound ramp to Route 195, currently under construction as a storage facility. It's where the batting cages used to be, par 1 or par 3 or whatever it was back in the day, the
Laser gate.
Laser Gate, Trader Jan's, Carter's Clothing, so it's that mill structure.
Yep.
And as part of their endeavor in the improvements of the project, there is environmental due diligence that the company needs to go through. And in doing so, they've determined that the site is not suitable for certain types of activities. So what happens is that environmental group, which was Riverhawk Environmental in this situation, they file with the Department of Environmental Protection this exact form. And basically what it does is it places a restriction on the piece of land, telling them what the activity and use can be on that property. No residential uses, so they determine a level of contamination and a level of what exposure can be, and they determine with DEP what's allowed to happen there. So it's usually retail facilities, parking facilities, usually not residential. So this would not be a mill that could be renovated without great environmental cleanup for residential purposes, especially school-aged children. So any type of activity, a daycare center, things like that, when you read through the documentation, there are limiting factors of what can happen. And then this, once it's entirely approved, this gets recorded at the Registry of Deeds, and it runs along with the piece of land for eternity. That's all.
I have a question. Is this already recorded? I see recorded
I believe this is
December 9th.
already recorded and approved, because
So
if
we
you
just
look
have-
at the very first page, you'll see the recording information from the Registry of
So we
Deeds.
just need to put it on file?
Yeah, yeah.
I make a motion to be accept and put on file?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now we have election of officers. Board members,
I make a motion that John Ferrara become chair?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
We all know what may come along with that.
Yeah, well, I know.
Does anybody want to make a nomination for a vice chair? Did everybody vote yay? Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that's that.
I make a motion for Gloria to be vice chair.
You knew it.
I'll
I
second,
that.
I'll second.
Goes around, goes
All
around.
with the smile.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations to our two new.
I would just, can I say
officers.
something? I'd just like to, I know this is Cindy's last meeting
Last meeting.
As chair,
as chair.
correct?
Last meeting.
No,
Oh.
last meeting,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
I
I just
didn't know
like
that
to,
was the case. I thought that was,
No,
I thought
I-
that was changed.
I
Nobody,
inquired.
nobody alerted me to that.
No.
Interesting.
I was gonna call you too, when I
Well,
figured
you
you
didn't, so.
I figured you already knew.
Surprised.
But I just wanna thank Cindy.
I
for
wish
all
I
the-
would have known, because I would have brought flowers or something. Now I feel
I
horrible.
was waiting for onion soup.
You gave me flowers last time.
No flowers for you.
I just want to thank Cindy for all her hard work and her dedication to the planning board and her professionalism, and to thank the board members for nominating me. I just hope I can be as precise as Cindy was and as professional.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you very
You're
much. And I'm sure you can do a better job
Never.
than me.
No,
Thank
never.
you.
I second John's sentiments.
Thank you very
Okay, and we have one more item. Although now that I'm not chair, I guess you should.
No, you still
Oh,
are,
you're
until
still
the next
there.
meeting.
You're
The
a
next
kid.
meeting.
Okay, one more item. We have the approval of the minutes of December 14th, 2022.
I make a motion that we approve. Mario was absent that day.
Yes.
Yep.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now I need a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
May
Any
I-
citizens input? I see a gentleman here. Did-
I was here for 132 Fenner.
Oh, okay. All right, so,
Before we leave, may I just, Cindy,
yes.
I've been here a long while, a little bit, but we're gonna miss you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Miss you too.
You know, all of us, you've been really, been nothing but pleasure to work with you.
Thank
And I
you.
know that you, the follow of your position is in good hands. John, congratulations.
Yes, yes, we're very
Gloria?
happy with you.
The best.
Okay. And so we're adjourning?
Yes.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
I'll second. Oh, you second.
All set.
So now,
Cynthia, you gonna visit us?